Hi there. My name's Leon, and I'm one of the priests in the Diocese of Kootenay, and it's my great privilege to be able to work in the beautiful Creston Valley for that ministry.
Good afternoon. For those of you who have not met me yet, I am the Reverend Austin Spry of the Boundary Parish in our diocese. We have an issue in the diocese, and it's not an uncommon issue in the life of the Anglican Church, and that is the continued decline of membership in our churches, which, with a problem we're very familiar with, is making it increasingly difficult to field ordained ministers in remote or rural locations. We're getting spread thinner and thinner. And I know that we in this diocese have discussed this before, and we have a well-developed licensed lay ministry program, and we have also tried something that I know that we're quite proud of, locally trained priests. And we have also explored and talked about team ministries. So Leon and I would like to share with you a particular idea we have that provides a bit of a spin on team ministry in rural areas, and is a ministry that we feel called to. We would float the idea in the East and West Kootenays of a new generation of circuit riders, but with something a little bit extra. Leon and I had wondered what a working rural Anglican community would look like.
The Green Abbey project, which is looking at purchasing a property in the central Kootenays to help support struggling parishes, of which there are many, sacramentally, is about finding resurrection amongst the hardships of being church today. We follow currently, as a diocese, a parish system which was imported from medieval Europe, which existed at the very height and the peak of church power, and that parish system is becoming increasingly less sustainable for our small rural communities.
So Leon, would you tell us more about what that might look like?
What will be proposed for the Green Abbey is a reinvestment of funds from the sale of church properties that sadly are no longer in existence into a future model which is more sustainable. And hopefully some of those congregations that have had to sell their buildings and are worshipping in homes can benefit from the sale of their buildings, and we can give something back to those congregations. In terms of what we hope the Green Abbey will offer to the world, is a place of simple living, a place where simple daily tasks, cooking, building, growing, can be something that enriches people's lives and helps people rediscover just how beautiful and special they are in the eyes of God. What we're hoping to do with this property is to establish a community of Christians living and working together, tilling the earth and caring for others, so that there can be a continued Christian presence into the future, whereby we can sacramentally support parishes that need that help and are no longer financially able to support a priest. We're hoping to establish a deep well of faith and comfort and nourishment, a place where people can come and be transformed and to be built back up again, and to go out into the world, into their their home parishes and feel like life has more hope to it. There's nothing new in a model like this. Until the parish system was established by the church as an institution, Christianity looked very different. Christianity was about smaller groups of Christians living and working, sharing things in common. Christianity's always been on this knife edge where there's challenge, where there's difficulty, but also a place where wonderful encounters with the poor and broken, the needful of the world can be had. And I hope that we too can create a sacred space, which is sacred because it's physical, but also because of the people that inhabit that space and the sacramental events that they experience together. And through the creation of that space, there'll be a chance and a hope for a future of the church, where communities are supported, where individuals do have somewhere to go, and they do have that deep well of faith to drink from.
So, what is it about this idea that we think is needed in this time?
It will mean a long-term ministry continuing within the Kootenays, because one of the things we want to focus on with a property is working towards self-sustainability, self-sufficiency. Society needs joy and togetherness, and society needs meals, and it needs food, and society needs to care for the brokenness of this world, and that's the type of simple life we will be looking at living out in the Green Abbey. But we also want to focus upon education. Education about the care of creation, education about food growing, about how to feed yourself and your family, and to make simple, nourishing meals. We want to learn about building organically, and about living a life that takes less of a toll upon creation, less of a toll on the environment, but actually lives more in tune with the environment itself. And we want to be able to provide people with that knowledge and skills, and also, quite importantly, the confidence to make simple changes in our own life, that are not just a benefit long term for the Diocese of Kootenay, but a benefit for the world. And so what we'd be doing here, which is strategically positioned to care for the East and the West Kootenays, is, we believe, something that many can benefit from. That people can take the principles which we'll be living by: prayer, a common life, care for God's creation, loving and embracing the people of this world who are the broken, the doubtful. We believe that these principles will be of benefit to the whole of the world.
Who might be attracted to this community?
We would begin by welcoming people to stay and, importantly, to work with us. And those people could come from anywhere in the diocese, anywhere in the world. Woofers, students, people recovering from divorce, people who find that modern life is taking its toll, and they need to step out of it for a while in order to reassess and reevaluate who they are. The Green Abbey would be a place of giving and receiving. So this is a vision that we are really very excited about, because we feel it can make a genuine difference in the lives of others, both for the Diocese of Kootenay and for the world. We feel that the message of being a sacramental and ecological community is a strong message, and one that we know there is some support for. In the midst of our current times, one of the great difficulties we currently face is to do with mental health injury. None of us in the midst of COVID are 100% okay. Life is quite hard, and this is something that is likely to continue. So having a caring and supportive community where people can come and work and to grow and to rediscover their importance and how loved they are by Jesus, and how special they are, and how they can contribute to the world is something that is huge, and it's the place, our place, for us as the church, the body of Christ, to be the hands of Jesus in the world today, to be the voice of Jesus, to follow his example of love, of justice, of challenge, of seeing the worth in a human being, not in terms of wealth or in terms of professional achievement, but in terms of that inner beauty that Psalm 139 talks about. Thanks for your time, and we are working on a business plan which we will present to the Diocesan Council, and that's something we are seeking help with, and yes, for this community to flourish, it does need support. It needs support financially, and it also needs support through prayer, and it needs support through people. I look forward to the time when, God willing, I can meet some of you face to face, planting peas, harvesting crops, building a few simple organic structures, and finding joy and nourishment in the daily and sustainable acts of life which can nourish our society. Bless you.